Okay, now we're coming back down. You can see on the hourly we have put in pretty strong low back here. Let's look at this. Let's look at a larger chart.
Order filled.
Okay, there we go. So here's this perfect reversal. This is a 288-minute chart so that I have 5 bars per day. You can see this perfect A, B, C pattern right down to the bottom of the channel where I've connected from the high to high, and then the parallel down to the beginning of the pattern. So we have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up for the third wave. So this is 1 big one, 2 big one, 3 big one, then a 4 big one made up of an ABC, typical fourth wave retracement, and an ABC right down to the 38 and the 50% confluence zone right there, right to the bottom of the channel, typical correction. Big reversal there with a lot of relative volume coming in. As you can see right here, we have 160, 180 right at the final low. Extremely high density on that last bar, right at the close of that session. And then it starts turning up. So now we have this first wave up, and then we've just pulled down and made a low here. I'm not expecting this is, going to go up where it comes down a little bit further, but what I am expecting is some kind of a push like that, and then maybe come on down a little bit further, and then get the big move up. Okay, so that's a little bit of the reason why I'm getting in right here. And if you look at the chart right now, okay, now it's going in my favor and I'm good. Tighten that stop up a little bit. If you look at what's happened here on the 30-minute, we've had this initial move up from this last swing low. We've retraced into the 50 to 61.8 right here, and then from the ultimate low, we've retraced exactly 50% of this move. So a perfect spot for the end of this little correction. Like I said, maybe it will do something like this and then come on down a little bit further before it actually makes the final low down in here, but I'm expecting to get at least a move back above this high at about 60, probably get up to about 60.20 for my target, so about 40 ticks. Now we've pulled down to the VWAP, volume weighted average price, the weekly VWAP, so starting from Monday back here. You see yesterday's reversal was from the weekly pivot point and the weekly VWAP. Here we are extremely oversold on the 30-minute momentum. So all good signs pointing to a reversal. We've had a big push back up, really wide-ranging bar. So we've had a big reversal back up, as you can see here on the 5-minute and the 15-minute. So we had a climax down. This is the 15-minute chart. Let's just look at that. We've had a climax move down into this low, as you can see by the deep sky blue bar, the blue outline bar. We had a very decisive reversal. So this is your V bottom. The main time that you'll see a V bottom is at the end of a C wave, at the end of a correction. Okay, so this is part of the reason why I'm thinking, well, maybe this is actually going to be the very end. I'm not banking on that though. I'm just banking on this high being broken. All right, and once that high is broken, I'll consider exiting at least half of the position. Well, I'll definitely exit half of it, but I might consider exiting the entire thing. Okay, so we have this decisive V bottom here, and then a reversal back down, which is actually a 61.8 reversal. Looks like I'm about to get stopped out. Maybe I should have this below the low there. Really, if it comes back into this zone, probably going to break that low anyway, but it may come down right to it and then reverse, so I will give it a little bit of a breathing room here. It's only 5 ticks of risk, so on 2 contracts. So that is a 61.8% reversal. Retracement. You have an A, B, C after a V bottom. That tells me that this is most likely going to be the low here. Okay, that's why I waited for a little bit of a pullback after this reversal. Pulled back down into the sweet spot, which you can see on the 233 and the 1-minute. Yeah, see, it's looking like it's going to reverse back up now. Okay, so it pulled back down into my little sweet spot where I started getting long from, basically below this VWAP here. This is a volume weighted average price from the low, the swing low here. Okay, and you know, it's 78.6 retracement. If I show you, not quite a 78.6 retracement, okay, but it's back to yesterday's low. So all good signs that this thing is going to go back up now. And figured since I was taking this trade, I'd go ahead and record it for you guys, give you a little bit better understanding of how I do this. I mean, this is really what it's all about, is doing the proper analysis, understanding why the market is likely going to reverse, where it's reversing from. Even if I get stopped out, this is a good trade. It's all about understanding the way the markets are moving so that you can find these turning points where you're going to have these major reversals. Anytime you see a V bottom like this and then an A, B, C correcting that initial move back up, pretty good sign that you're going to have another move very similar to this. So that's why I would want to now start drawing my extensions to find a target. Now we're having a churn bar coming down, so hopefully this will be the end of it right there, and now we'll start going back up. So should I use this high or this high? Let's use that high, and my target is going to be probably well beyond this, probably up in this area up in here. We'll see what happens. If I get stopped out, then I'll look for a re-entry if it does actually start going back up. But once I get stopped out, I have to kind of sit on my hands for a minute and see what might be unfolding other than what I expected. So we would want to also draw our channels, which we've pulled back down to now. We've pulled back down to the baseline, you see. So we had a churn bar right back down into that. You had a lot of limit orders sitting right in there, obviously, because it's a churn bar. We know that. So the people are market order selling into this area. There's a lot of limit orders absorbing all of that selling, and now it's trying to turn back up. It's looking like it's maybe going to have a hard time, and we could possibly close below this low. I'm hoping that we won't, obviously, because I'm long right now, but I think I will tighten my stop up another tick. So we didn't quite come down and make a double bottom. We came within one tick of that low. So I would have been stopped out where my stop was previously, but now we can see the buying pressure starting to come in. So let's work a little bit more on those targets. There we are. So now we have the good reversal back up. I'll tighten that stop up a little bit more. Now we see the buying really coming in. This is looking just a little bit weak. I was thinking there would be more volume on the way back up, but there's really just not yet, so I don't want to run the risk of losing on this, so I'll go ahead and lock in 2 ticks. But yeah, that's looking bad for me right there. I think I'll take one off.
Order filled. Order canceled.
There we go. So I took one off. It's looking a little bit weak right here. Had a lot of selling come back in right there. Okay, good. I'll go ahead and lock in a little bit more. Looks like it is going to actually keep going up. So let's look at this 1 minute a little bit. You can see the volume, the relative volume, is decreasing in this area. Alright, so we've come back up, and the volume is starting to increase right up near the high, right in this area, and then it turns back down. Okay, we get a little bit of high volume right in this area here, and then it comes back up on decreasing volume. Alright, then it starts coming back down on even more decreasing volume until it gets into this area right here. Then we have a lot of volume coming in. See? So that's what stopped this move down, and obviously that was a 61.8 retracement. And now we've turned back up, made a retracement, and now we're coming back up again, but you can see the weakness in here. Once it's looking like what it wants to do is make another run lower, maybe break this low, possibly come on down to the 78.6 down here, and then maybe it'll try to get the next push up. So I'll go ahead and take a stop on this. I did manage to get out of one right here. We'll take a stop on that second one. Maybe not. Okay. There's one tick. Well, we'll see what happens. But I'm kind of thinking that it's wanting to come back down. But
Order filled.
yeah, there we go. Okay, so I got stopped out. Did manage to make 12 ticks total. Not bad. I was hoping for more, but that's when you start seeing these signs of weakness, it's better to go ahead and take one off and then just tighten up your stop and you know, give it some room. If it's going to work out, it'll work out. If not, you're not losing very much and you've locked in some profit. Okay? So I'll go ahead and post this video. It's a good kind of management video, I guess. I was hoping for a nice big runner, but looks like it wants to come down, make another low, and then possibly go up. So we'll let it play out like it wants to, and maybe take another shot at it in a little bit. Okay, so here's the aftermath. I did try to take one more stab at it. You can see where I entered here, and then we took the one off and then got stopped out of the other with plus 12 ticks or 13 ticks or whatever. And I was saying that it would probably come down to the 78.6. Well, it came within 3 ticks of it. I actually had my stop. I had my buy limit 1 tick below this low. You'll see here on the 1 minute what I'm talking about. Right here at the low, we're coming down into this confluence of trend channel lines in this 61.8 extension, and we get this climax churn bar, and then the next bar I was thinking would come 1 tick lower. I would be able to get in, but it didn't, and then the next bar turns up strong. I have after that a limit order sitting right here which doesn't get filled, and then it makes the big push up. Alright, then it retraces all the way back down. I'm thinking, well, maybe it'll actually come down a little bit lower, but it doesn't. Then it breaks out here, right there, and then I put my limit order right there, and I get filled right there at about the 50% retracement of this little tiny move right here. And like an idiot, I didn't get out at Divergence, at the trend line, at S1, at the VWAP, at everything. I was working with a guy building a strategy, and I was thinking, well, I'll let it ride, because what I was hoping for, what I was shooting for was this, remember? This is on the 30-minute chart on the left. I'm looking for another move similar to this first push up. I'm looking for something similar, at least in price, maybe not necessarily in time, and looks like we'll probably have that now on Monday. So I was hoping it would make that nice straight line move, but of course the market doesn't really do what you want it to do. So I should have been out here, which was obvious, so obvious. Perfect exit with bearish volume divergence and just everything coming together right there perfectly. And what does it do? It makes this little bit of a wedge, comes right back down to the bottom of the trend line again. And I have my stop a little bit too tight. Should have had it down below that low right there, but I didn't. I had it too tight. I should have been walking it up behind that trend line, and so got stopped out with like plus 2 ticks. So anyway, just wanted to give a little bit of a recap. It did finally start moving up after the close. The close was here, right where I got stopped out. I got stopped out literally right on the close. Then it turns back up on the next bar. You see that little weak churn bar from the 61.8 in the trend channel, the trend line, the baseline, and then it turns back up, finally breaks out of the upper baseline right there, and then now we've got a little bit of a climax up. So probably on, does it open Sunday night? I think it does open Sunday night, but it'll be closed on Monday. Probably Sunday night we'll see this kind of a move. It's not letting me draw. There we go. Something like that. So we'll see. Alright, leave some comments if you have any questions. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe if you want to see more of these videos.